spot Sunday night in Philly. That's because Andy Dalton, doubtful after this hit. He left the game against Washington with what was later diagnosed as a concussion. So it's the 7th-round pick out of James Madison University that is preparing to start. Ben DiNucci with Garrett Gilbert as DiNucci's backup. So here's the thing, if you feel like Dallas has fallen far behind more often than usual this season, you're right. The 2-5 Cowboys have trailed by at least 14 points in 6 straight games. According to Elias Sports Bureau, that is their longest such streak since 1961, which was just their 2nd season in the NFL. Here's Tony and Mike now, PTI, truly in the Halloween spirit on the continued problems in Big D.
All right, Wilbon, how much pressure is Mike McCarthy under for the remainder of this season?
Lots. He's under pressure this week. Sunday night against the Eagles in Philly. It looks like he may have to go with some dude named DiNucci because Andy Dalton, we don't know his status yet. They don't know his status yet. So he's got that going against him, Tony. He's got everything going against him. He called out his team publicly for not having Dalton's back to the degree he thought they should have. I'm with him. Right. I agree. They should have been, 5 of them should have swarmed the guy who hit Andy Dalton and laid him out. So I understand it. But when a coach calls his team out like that, if that team doesn't respond positively, that coach is in trouble. Forget the rest of the season. He's on the hot seat now, this weekend.
Can I just tell you how different you look with hair? I mean, it is really different. As I look at you, it really looks different. How much pressure is he under? The only way to answer that is to ask Jerry Jones. Okay, because Jerry Jones controls the team 100%.
Yeah.
Does Jerry Jones regret making this hire? I have absolutely no idea if that's true. But this guy lost his team leader and best player, Dak Prescott. Lost him. He's out for the rest of the season. And at this point, almost everybody else, if not everybody else on that team, is overrated, overpaid, and overhyped. And who does that come down on? Jerry Jones is who that comes down on.
But he ain't firing himself. Yeah. Jerry's not going to fire himself.
No, he's not.
Jerry's not on the hot seat.
You know, so anyway, really, seriously, you actually do look like the new
Let me just say this. If you're Bryson DeChambeau, I get lots of strokes from you tomorrow. I'm just saying, that's it. We're done. Back to
11 o'clock tea time, pal. 11 o'clock. Let's go.
I don't know how to follow that. All right, it's been more than 13 years since the beginning of the Tom Brady-Randy Moss marriage in New England, and it turned out to be a fairy tale union between these two, cementing Randy Moss as a bona fide Hall of Fame receiver. Remember, all the New England Patriots had to give the Raiders was a 4th-round draft pick for Randy Moss, who was certainly a controversial player back then. Fast forward to today, and another super talented receiver who gives new meaning to the word controversial, Antonio Brown. Reunited with Tom Brady, this time in Tampa. So our Randy Moss caught up with TB12 about the addition of AB and a lot more.
Tom Brady is going to wind up as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Wrap your mind around that one.
Man, how has it been for you in Tampa, Tom?
Pretty much everything's changed after 20 years being in one place, one drive home, one practice facility, one practice field, one set of coaches. And I think it's just getting accustomed to a whole different routine. And I've had a lot of fun days down here. I said, other than the 2 losses, we've been having a lot of fun. So we're going to try to keep the wins coming.
I'm almost glad I was counted out.
Tom had 5 touchdowns for 43. Hey, man, it's 5 touchdowns. Sorry. That's a record. Is it 43?
Oh, yeah.
That's a record for you. How comfortable, Tom, would you say you are in this offense?
A lot of it's just new, and even though I've been doing it for a long time, I'm doing it with a different group of players and coaches, and I think for all of us, we're learning each other, and we're still learning each other. I think it's going to go that way throughout the entire season. I don't think we're going to get to a point like, oh, great, we got this all figured out. I think there's a lot of room for us to grow with one another. We're just going to keep trying to do it as best we can, put the work in every week, and see how it shakes out.
AB and TB, it's going to be, again, in Tampa.
How much pull did you have lobbying for a guy like Antonio Brown, coming and playing on this, high explosive offense?
Jason and Bruce, felt like there was a right opportunity to add him to a really talented group that we already have. And I certainly didn't object to it. Antonio's going to work as hard as he always has. He's a very hard worker. Everyone knows that. We'll see what we can do when he gets on the field.
Talk a little bit about some of the things that we may not know about Antonio Brown coming to your team?
Good players, they find ways to make plays, and receivers' jobs get open, catch the ball, and do something with it. And I played with a lot of guys that know how to do that. Mike knows how to do that. Chris knows how to do that. Certainly Antonio knows how to do that. And we just got to figure out how the pieces fit and try to go execute, really well on a weekly basis.
What would you say the ceiling is for this team, Tom?
It's up to us. That's the ceiling. It depends on our attitude, depends on our work ethic, depends on our determination. Ultimately, it's going to depend on our execution. So if we put the preparation first and the process is right, the results will come.
Brady and the Bucs facing the Giants on ESPN's Monday Night Football. They are making a case at the top of the NFC. Marcus Spears and Ryan Clark joining us to give us the real answer. Marcus, which team right now is the best team in the NFC?
It's Tampa, Kev. And listen, because this is a complete football team. We heard Tom Brady talk about the requisite weapons on offense, but I look at defense as well with Devin White and Levante David in the middle of that thing, and Shaq Barrett and Pierre Paul. They are playing elite defense. And Todd Bowles has it rolling as well. And then you go to the other side of the ball, flip-flopping. This is the issue, Kev. You can determine what side of the football you want to make a case for being the best in the NFC. To me, it's Tampa because they have two units that grade out very high, and they have a whole heap of talent on both sides of the ball as well, with really good coaches on the sideline.
Nah, he's absolutely right. Y'all know I like Fridays to get a chance to come on here and argue with my dog Marcus, because we usually agree so much. But this one is just cut and dry. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they play at their highest level, are by far and away to me the best team in the NFC. And it's for all the reasons that Marcus mentioned. They have stars on both sides of the ball. When you look at a guy like Devin White, I think he's probably the best young linebacker in the game. And they have the GOAT on the other side as the quarterback. Those are the two leaders of each side of the football, and they're doing an amazing job, not only physically, but showing and leading the way by their actions on and off the field. The sky is the limit for this team, and Tom says it's about how they work. If they continue to work as they have the last 2 weeks, we'll be seeing them in the Super Bowl come February.
Okay, so you guys are locked in on one team. The Bucs are playing to win the game, but are the Jets? 18 years ago, one guy had the answer. Listen.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then you're tired. Get out. Doesn't matter.
Gosh, we miss Herb. We miss the speeches in the hallway. By the way, the Jets could use that speech. Caesars William Hill listing this team as 19.5-point dogs against the Chiefs. That would go down as the third largest spread against the Jets since 1966 and the largest this season. The smart money seems to be on Kansas City. This isn't about winning or losing for the Jets this weekend. Ryan, will the Jets simply cover?
No, they won't. The Jets won't. Last week, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos by 27. They will at least beat the Jets by that many points. Le'Veon Bell's going to have a point to prove, and I believe the Kansas City Chiefs and the rest of those players are going to help improve it.
Oh, Lord, I'm glad y'all let Ryan go first. Because you telling me about point spreads and lines and all of that, I got to study and do some homework. All I know is, based on what I just heard Ryan say, is that Kansas City going to beat the Jets by more than, what you said, 19 and a half?
Yeah,
Kev?
just more than 20.
Yes,
How about we just go more than 20?
Yeah, well, they not going to cover. They're going to lose by more than 19 and a half points. Whatever the hell 19 and a half points is. Anyway, they're going to lose by more than that. All right. That's all I got for y'all.
Whatever it is,
It's
the Jets
Friday.
gonna lose
I'm
by
ready
more.
for the weekend.
Keep this in mind.